Hello everyone, my name is Jackie and today I've got another TBR bingo. So in October it was a very bad reading month for me. So TBR bingo picked these 5 books plus the manga for Fangirl for me. The manga still hasn't arrived, so I couldn't read that. I've read A Song of Earth and Ruin. I'm halfway through Crown of Midnight and I'm a third into Black Enough, and I haven't even started Scythe or God's Grave. So that was a very bad reading month. And I also didn't read much else. So yeah, didn't work out quite as planned. So I'm still going and try to read God's Grave and Scythe. I will definitely finish Black Enough and Crown of Midnight. Apart from that, I don't know. Normally I would just take all the books from last month to read this month in addition to the books TBR bingo picks for me. But lately I've been so bad with reading that I don't want to force myself, so I will play TBR bingo. I will pick out 6 books, but apart from those 6 I will just read whatever I fancy in the moment, because otherwise I will never read anything again. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, let's just change out the prompts. Alright, so what do we pick? First one is Out of Comfort Zone. Alright. Second one is Kindle, also good. I do have a couple of books on my Kindle that I really want to read, so. A sequel, the highest rated book on my TBR, under 250 pages, always nice. And a sci-fi. Alright, let's dive right into it. The first pick is E5, which is an intimidating read and not something I actually needed this month. Alright, let me see what I have. Alright, for an intimidating read I'm picking Battle Mage by Peter A. Flannery. This is the second book and it's the German edition. In English it's actually just one book, but for the German release they divided it into 2, so this is the second half of the book. I really enjoyed the first one, but this book has over 600 pages, and during a time where I'm rather slumpy with my reading, this is pretty intimidating. So yeah, the first book was about a boy named Falco who is... damn it, I can't remember. So the book is about Falco, whose father was a warrior mage. I don't know what exactly the term is they use in the English book, but there's a war coming to his town and there are dragons. Warrior mages can call the dragons to them to help them fight, except if you accidentally call a black dragon, because those are insane and are going to kill everyone. So yeah, that's all I can remember from the first one, sadly, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm definitely going to pick this one up. Alright, second pick is E1, which is a book under 250 pages. Yes, that's very good. And for that I'm picking This Winter by Alice Oseman, which is a very short novella set in the universe of Solitaire and Heartstopper, and this is centered around Nick and Charlie. It happens sometime after the comics of Heartstopper. It's about Christmas. I have no idea what it's about, I'm sorry. But I adore the Heartstopper comics. Nick and Charlie are just very cute. If you haven't read it yet, definitely pick it up. And yeah, can't wait to read. And pick number 3 is A2, which is, can you see this? Out of Comfort Zone. That's another one I really didn't want this month. Let me see. That's really difficult. I can't think of anything. I mean, I have a lot of books I want to read, but something that's out of my comfort zone, but I still want to read right now. That's difficult. Alright, I think it's a lot of bending the rules for this one, but we're going with it. I'm going to pick The Resurrectionist by E.B. Hudspeth. This was on my TBR, I think, for September, but I never got to it. And I'm really excited to read it, but it's written like a non-fiction book. So I'm not that much into non-fiction books, so we're just going with it. So this tells the this is a fictional biography of Dr. Spencer Black and some of his lost work. And if I remember correctly, this Dr. Black was of the opinion that mythical creatures are just some part of the evolution and they existed in real life. So this book is his biography and some medical pages about some mythical creatures, which look really interesting. And pick number 4 is D3, which is a sequel. Very well. So, since I already have to read this for work, we're going to put it on here. Storm Song by C.L. Polk is the sequel to... what's the first one called? It's the sequel to Witchmark, and it's set in a place that is very reminiscent of Victorian England, but there's magic, and there are people who use magic, who are kind of allowed to use magic, but there are also people who are born with magic, but for some reason their magic is seen as useless, so instead of them doing their own magic, they are practically owned by other magicians who then take their power to become more powerful. And yeah, it was really interesting, the first one, and the second one follows, I think, the sister of the protagonist from the first one. So yeah, really excited to read this one too. And pick number 5 is E4, which is a backlist title. Alright, a backlist title that I want to read at the moment. Let's see. I know. I wanted to participate in a read-along, so this fits perfectly. I'm going to read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, which is about a girl named Carew who is an artist living in Prague, and she lives with some mythical creatures. I don't know exactly anymore, and she works for them too. But one day the door through which she can go to them, which I think leads into another dimension or something, it's closed and she can't get through anymore. But so she goes looking for them. And yeah, I read the first one ages and ages ago, and I can't remember anything anymore. But I adored Stranger Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares, so I really wanted to reread this book. I don't own a physical copy, but I own one on my Kindle, so I'm going to read that. And the last book is... So the last book is A1, which is a contemporary. So that's a nice pick because I normally am really quick through contemporaries. So I've got some book mail a couple of days ago, and I've got 2 new contemporaries. I've got Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can and Felix Ever After by Kason Callender. So I'm not sure. This one is about a girl who's asexual, and this one is about a boy who is trans. And I'm really excited for both of them, so it's difficult. It's really difficult. I think I'm going to go with Felix Ever After, but if I have time, I'm definitely going to read Let's Talk About Love too. Felix Ever After is about Felix, who is transgender, and one day he gets transphobic messages from another student who also posted his dead name along with pictures of him before he transitioned. Sounds sad. I'm really hoping for a happy ending considering the title. So yeah, I'm going to read this one. Alright, so those are the 5 books I'm going to read, plus Dot of Smoke and Bone, which I have the Kindle edition of. If I'm actually loving the series, I will definitely get a physical copy of those, because they get some amazing new covers. So yeah, I'm overall pretty excited for this TBR. Of course, I'm going to try and read a lot more of that, because I still want to read a lot more before the end of the year. So yeah, but I'm going to start with those 6 after finishing Black Enough and Crown of Midnight, and hopefully I will actually be able to read them all this month. So yeah, if you've read any of those, let me know down below what you thought, but please no spoilers, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!